SongCast. Free to stream anytime you crave great indie music. SongCast Radio.
You are streaming Spotlight, indie music from around the world, commercial-free and free to stream. My name's Joe Cleon, our special guest from California. Say hello to Pete Cole. If you like what you hear, buy some music from this amazing indie artist on Amazon, on Apple Music, stream on Spotify. You can also stream on SoundCloud. Tell your friends about Pete Cole. And right now, let's get into our interview with our featured artist, Pete Cole.
Okay, well, of course, my name is Pete Cole, and I've been a musician for almost 50 years now. My father was a musician, and so I was born into it kind of inherently. And I've had the privilege of working with a lot of people over the years, famous people. But I won't go into that. What I will go into is that I've been writing original songs for the past 30 years. And, I'm really glad that I'm able to at least use this outlet. For those that don't have the wherewithal, like a major record company, this is a pretty good outlet because if nothing else, a lot of people get to hear your music. And so, I play multiple instruments. On the tracks, I'm basically playing everything. Like Prince, if anybody knows about Prince, he plays every track. And so I'm grateful to be able to do that. And I'm self-facilitated, so that counts for something. And, as things go, I would love to be able to market it, on every possible media that I can, but at the same time, the most important part of it is the music itself. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Where are you from?
Originally Detroit. I came to California in 1980. It was the music business that brought me out here, but it was the weather that made me stay. And actually, I'm glad it did. I've had a lot of wonderful experiences, through this whole journey. And, throughout the trial and error, the most wonderful part of it was the journey, because it's brought me to where I am right now today. And the music, even though it's all original, I've got it from feeding off just about everybody that I've experienced in a musical situation.
Where in California are you at?
Actually, I live in San Bernardino.
Oh, okay.
As they say, if you want to make it in Hollywood, you got to get out of Hollywood. So, San Bernardino is, it's a nice little distance from there, but if you want to get away from it all, that's the place to be. It's widespread. It's like living out, living out in sticks, instead of living on top of each other. In the city, people are basically doing that. They're living on top of each other, and you're dealing with a melting pot. So that's one of the things in my experience of living in Los Angeles. That's one of the things that I've ascertained over the years that, you got to get out of LA if you're going to be happy.
Let's talk about one of your more recent songs that we distribute here at SongCast, the song The Soul. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Oh, okay. Well, it's a funny thing. What inspired that song? You're going to laugh, but, I was watching this movie where Halle Berry was dancing her ass off, man, to Jungle Boogie, and so the notion came to me after seeing that movie and in that particular scene, man, I was like, man, you got this hip hop is running everything. Anything that you hear that's on the soul genre or R&B, so to speak, they're using that same hip hop drum track or whatever that is, I said, you know what, I just felt like, if there's any chance to remind everybody that soul is still alive, this would be a great opportunity to do so. And so whoever hears it, and this is why I put, emphasis on, it's soulful and it's funky, and of course the title, the chorus, soul music. So that's what that's really all about. I just want to break away from, from the stigma of trying to sound so much like today that, that everybody loses track of what's actually real. Because during that time, without going on a tangent, it was the workforce that made like every other genre, rock, country, the blues. You know, there was a tangible workforce involved that consisted of real musicians on everything. You know, you use real drums, you use real horns, real guitar, real everything. And so that's how those records were made back then. So I just, to the best of my ability, tried to attempt to emulate that workforce. And so that's how I wanted the record to sound. Like you have a component of different players, even though I'm doing everything. I have to admit that, I don't have the wherewithal to hire cats, so I'm grateful to have the gift to be able to actually utilize to bring my tracks to that type of volition.
Let's get into it. Here's our first track from Pete Cole. This is called The Soul, True Music Discovery on SongCast.
Why? It's so full, can't you feel it? All up in your toes. Make your feet wanna tap, make your fingers snap, make your hands wanna clap. It's so full on the one, funky to the bone. Feels so good, it's so much fun. Feels so good, don't wanna be done. There's a party going on. Come on, y'all, to the break of dawn. It's funky. It's funky. The soul, it goes on and on and on. Oh, let me tell you now, every time, Lord, that I hear it, oh, I just can't be cool. Can't let nobody keep me from it. No, I can't be no fool, even though it may not make me famous. It's funky, it's so contagious. Let it get down in your soul. Come on, get down on the floor. It's funky, funky, it's funky, funky. And there's no stopping, there's no stopping. The soul, it goes on and on and on. It's not over, no. Talking about soul music, sweet soul music, soul music, sweet soul music, soul music, sweet music. The soul goes on and on. Talking about soul music, sweet soul music. It's funky, funky, it's funky, funky. The soul goes on, the soul goes on and on. Let me tell you something else. There's nothing wrong with being happy, nothing wrong with feeling good. Let the music make you happy, let the music do you good. Nothing wrong with being happy, nothing wrong with feeling good. When the music gets you moving like it should. It's funky, funky, it's funky, funky, it's funky, funky, it's funky, funky. The soul, it goes on and on and on. It's not over, no. Talking about soul music, sweet soul music, soul music. It's funky, funky, soul music, sweet soul music. The soul goes on and on. Talking about soul music, sweet soul music. It's funky, funky, it's funky, funky. The soul goes on, the soul goes on and on. Oh yeah, the soul goes on and on. That's right, the soul goes on and on. Help me now. The soul goes on and on. Come on, say it again. The soul goes on and on. Oh yeah, the soul goes on and on. Yeah, the soul goes on and on. Yeah.
You are streaming the Rhythm and Blues Spotlight. Our featured artist is Pete Cole from California. The opening track there is called The Soul. So, Pete, you had mentioned before that you play all the instruments on all of your music. Do you also record your own stuff? Do you have your own studio?
Yes, I do. I facilitate my well, what can I say? I made an investment. It's not as elaborate as one may think, but I hope that the tracks, speak for themselves. I have 16 real tracks. At least that's what I call them. And when I'm applying these tracks, I'm able to utilize all the EQ and experiment. So I have a lot of time, opposed to being under a budget. Under the auspices of a budget. I call it auspices, because money is power. I get to do it on my own time, so I can pinpoint and even use the big time CDs like people like Celine Dion's album or Luther Vandross or the Doobie Brothers. If I can get a hold of them, I'll bring them in and then I'll play them in my system to reference the sound levels and so forth. You know what I mean? Try to make the music sound on that same level, as far as volume and as far as, tonality and so forth. I do my best at it. My wife tells me, stop beating yourself up, but, you can only do what you can.
Being self-contained, like you mentioned, has got to make it very easy to just stay home and record and not have to rely on anybody else. You got it all under one roof, all under your own head.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But don't get me wrong, Joe. I've attempted through all this time to get people to come and join me, to help me. It's a difficult task getting people to come through and, give me their talents or add what they have to the song. So, and of course, because, I can't get, it's hard to get people to come through and help me with the tracks. I'm grateful that I can actually do it, and that's why I do it. It's because of that I resigned to, doing it, on my own. It's actually very important to me to try to get, a more, a group of people or, collaboration, other people's energy. If I could ascertain that or get people to help me out, that would be very valuable to me. But it just doesn't work out that way.
Well, being all self-contained and recording at your house in your own studio kind of makes me want to ask you about this next song, Staying Home.
Okay, well, Staying Home is, of course, in conjunction with the virus, the COVID-19. And, basically people are, like my wife and I, it's been our regular routine anyway. But I've been seeing on the news, and so forth, the urging to stay at home, so this song is based upon that, people not going out, teachers and so forth, and you name it, just about every walk of life, people are basically staying home, shut in, because of this thing. We don't know how much longer it's going to last, so I figured I would, contribute something.
Call it quarantine, sequestering, vacationing, or just staying home. And most kids are doodling with crayons in front of the TV. They're staying home. Everything is closed out there. There's not much available for you. If you need to buy some underwear, there's Walmart and Target. But don't you be afraid. There's plenty you can do at home when you put your mind to it. Like video and a smart TV. All you need is Wi-Fi at home. Home sweet home. And you can't even go to the bar. They're all shut down so you can drink at home. Home sweet home. People are really getting sick out there. It's no joke. I really wanna tell you, if you really gotta go out there to Walmart, Target, put on your mask and take your sanitizer with you. I'm only saying this with love. Let's sit down and have some breakfast. We're staying home. Later we can have some lunch. We're staying home. Home sweet home. It's dinner time. Home sweet home. Let's dine together. You and me at home. Sweet home, sweet home. Na na na. Sweet home, sweet home, yeah. Since I'm home, I guess I'll play my drums.
You are listening to Spotlight, true music discovery on SongCast. Our featured artist from California is Mr. Pete Cole. That was a track called Staying Home. Pete, before this whole Corona thing kind of took us by surprise, were you doing a lot of gigs out there in California?
Actually, yes. I'm the bass player for a local band called District 909, and our last date was actually February 29th. But that was a pretty consistent group. We were booked all over the place as far as San Bernardino County, and we would average about, I would say, at least 4 gigs a month. So, and that's doing pretty good for any local band. And at the same time, I would travel with a band called Lowrider Band. We would do the main stage concerts and so forth. They had a really famous name before they became Lowrider Band. I don't know if you've ever heard of a band called War.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. This is the original rhythm section of War, and I joined them a little over a decade ago. And so when it comes down to traveling and performing, that's who I would go with. So, now, here's the funny thing. When I'm out with them, I'm on keyboard. When I'm with the local band, I'm the bass player.
Versatility is good.
Versatility is good if you got it. And believe me, I encourage everyone to, try every instrument that's available to you. Your main thing may be guitar, but, try piano too. You never know what can unfold, and, I always tell players, even those that are just starting, I go, every musician is better than others. And what that means is, of course, no matter what level you're on, there's always someone who started after you. And so, if you've been doing it for 10 years and you're still working at it, of course, there's somebody that just started a year ago, And so I give each one the same encouragement because you never stop learning. It's actually a lifetime journey.
Tell me about the track Fly With Me.
Fly With Me? Okay. Well, when I'm out with Lowrider Band, and I hope that after this thing, we become even more busy than we've ever been. I call it this thing because, when I say that, most people know what I'm talking about, it's just about everywhere I perform with them, we have to get on a plane because everybody lives in a different state. Our percussionist lives in Oregon. Our harmonica player lives in Washington State. I live in California. Our sax player is in New Orleans. Our guitar player is in Texas. Our bass player is in Georgia. And our drummer, of course, is in Long Beach, which is about 2 hours from me. But once again, we all meet up. We get on an airplane and we meet wherever we're going to perform. So, I was messing around with my keyboard and I heard that sound where it said airplane. And, it sounds like the inside of a plane when you're taking off to fly. And so that's where it came from. I said, oh, wow. And so from that point, of course, being romantic with my wife, that's where the concept came from.
Let's crank it up and get into it. Fly With Me, music from Pete Cole, featured artist on Spotlight, exclusively on SongCast.
I wanna talk to you again, to tell you what I want with you, and tell you what I wanna do. We started on the wrong damn foot. All I really wanna do is make it good. The time is right for you and me. I'm wanting you so much, you see. I'm begging, fly with me tonight. I wanna fly high with you. Don't you wanna take the chance to go higher? Fly so high, high enough to reach the sky. There's no limit to how high we can fly. I wanna tell you, let's be more than friends. Let's fly beyond the clouds tonight. Fly just like the eagles fly. It takes more than one to make it work. I'm sorry I was such a jerk. The time is right for you and me. I'm wanting you so desperately. I'm begging, fly with me tonight. I wanna fly high with you. Don't you wanna take the chance to go higher? Fly so high, we'll reach the sky. There's no limit to how high we can fly. Please, I'm begging, fly with me tonight. Yeah, I wanna fly high with you. Oh. I wanna fly so high. There's no limit to how high we can fly. Please, I'm begging, fly with me tonight.
You are listening to Spotlight, true music discovery on SongCast. Our featured artist, a great indie performer out of California by the name of Pete Cole. Pete, let's go into a track called Woo to Woo. What is that?
Yeah, woo da woo. That's my wife's pet name. I mean, it's a funny thing, you make all these little funny noises, and of course, that's what came out of me one day, while playing with her, and I said, oh man, and so, ever since then, and we're talking 2014 is when we met, and so that's how long I've actually been calling her Wu-Ta, That sounds crazy, don't it? But I love it.
Another great track from Pete Cole, Woo to Woo, indie music on SongCast.
My woo-da-woo. There is no one in this world other than you that I would ever call my woo-da-woo. You're such a tough cookie, sweet as can be, and every time we kiss it's so tasty. Yeah. Ay, 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 ay. But now, from the first time that I saw you, I knew you would be the one to take away my blues. It's you. Let nobody ever tell you that it's not true. You are my everything. We do everything together. You might as well be a superhero, wonder lover. You rescued my heart from the dangers of love. You must have been sent from heaven above, like an angel. Sweet, sweet thing, so sweet to me. I just gotta say, ay, 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 ay. So hot. Oh yeah. There is no one in this world other than you that I would ever call my woo-da-woo. There is no one in this world other than you that I would ever call my woo-da-woo. There is no one in this world other than you. No one, no one, no, 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 baby.
You are streaming Spotlight here on SongCast. My name is Joe Cleon. Featured artist is Pete Cole. Pete, do you write music or lyrics first? Tell us about the songwriting process.
Okay. Well, in most cases, Joe, I mean, it's a funny thing. Songs come to me in choruses. That's the first thing to come to me. It's the chorus. And it's so uncanny because it's always been that way. It's never been like, okay, I have a verse that I'm going to write down here. And several times I woke up from sleep in the morning hearing the chorus, and I'll run and grab my phone or whatever, and sing it, while it's still in my head, or else I'll lose it right away. But I would say just about every song comes in that order. The chorus first, and then the music and the lyrics as far as your verses and so forth. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and the hook is the most important part of the song, so starting there and working around it seems like a great strategy to me.
Well, thank you, man. I'm glad to hear you say that, because, I was wondering if I was the only one.
You are not the only one. Let's move into our last track, OK America.
Okay, well, OK America is actually what I say on my Facebook. I'm being candid here. I'm just laying it all out on the line, man. OK America is the first thing I say when I post something on my Facebook. Where the section that goes, anybody that has a profile on Facebook, the question is, what's on your mind? And so in that section, I always write OK America with an exclamation point, and then blah, 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 whatever it is I need to say, And so that's where that came from. I was messing around with this groove, and, the story itself is basically about me being a musician, what I do to make a living, what I do, what I was born to do. And, you got to play the note if you're going to have a show.
If people want to follow you on social media, where can they find you online?
They can find me on Facebook for sure. Absolutely. I post things on Facebook, but it's basically, memorabilia stuff at the same time where I'm going to be performing. But the latest thing, of course, I posted was about OK America, the single. And so, I tell people, spread it around, let everybody know about it, go ahead and forward it to others, and, I hope somebody would download it, but even if not, the real gift and the reward is that they get to hear it, and that's what it's really all about.
And through SongCast, your music is available all over the place online. Amazon, Apple Music. You can stream on Spotify. You can stream on SoundCloud. So make sure you go out and buy some of these tracks. And thank you so much, Pete, for hanging out with us, taking us into your musical world. And let's get into this last track, OK America. Indie music from Indie music from Pete Cole. True music discovery on SongCast.
America, I got news for you. This time the whole wide world is really watching you. There's a poker game going on, and the players are playing hard. And there's a joker in the deck that's trumping all the cards. You gotta play to win the game. If you wanna make the Hall of Fame, you gotta do it from the heart, so you don't make the Hall of Shame. 'Cause life comes at you fast, gotta go get it while it lasts. You gotta play the note son, if you're gonna have a show, son. 'Cause I'm a real musician. I take my $1,000 rig, put it in my car and drive 100 miles and do $100 gig. You don't know nothing about that, been doing it way before your time. But the words are strong, so sing along just like a nursery rhyme. It's my hustle every day, my hustle every night. And I never know from one show to the next if I did it all right. So I keep on going, baby, I really wanna win. And that's the name of the game, yeah. Get on up, America, it's OK America, yeah. OK America, yeah. OK America, do your thing, America, it's OK America, yeah. OK America, OK America, OK America, did you see it on the news? You just found a much, much better way of curing the blues. You just turn on your iPod and tune it all out. Let the music take you away and make you scream and shout. It's my hustle every day, my hustle every night. And I never know if I'm doing it right. So I keep on going, baby, I really wanna win. of the game. Get on up, America. It's okay, America. Yeah. Okay, America. Yeah. Okay, America. Do your thing, America. Okay, America. Yeah. Okay, America. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Get on up, America. It's okay, America. Yeah. Okay, America. Okay, America. Do your thing, America. Okay, America. Okay, America. Okay, America.
Listen, explore, discover indie music from around the world. Spotlight features all types of indie music: hip-hop, rock, pop, electronic, country, blues, jazz, and more. Spotlight. Spotlight. Listen to thousands of hours of archived indie music anytime, anywhere. Experience Spotlight, the best indie music from around the world. Commercial free and free to stream. SongCast Radio. True music discovery.